We continue at PoloRadio from Buenos Aires to the world, and now we will be in contact with Claudia Suica in New York. Hello, Claudia, and welcome to PoloRadio.
Thank you, Federico. I'm doing great right here in New York. I'm very excited to be here with you guys.
On the other line, we are connected with Phillip Selkirk. So, Phillip, how are you?
Thank you so much, Federico and Claudia. Very nice to be with you tonight and ready for all your questions.
So, Phillip, we want to know about the Perfect Match project, this movie for the USPA. So tell us about the beginnings of this idea, please.
Well, I've always had this passion to make a film about polo, and last year I was in Palm Beach for several months, and needless to say, during the season in March, April, I met a number of people who shared my interest in making such a project and making this vision come true. So these people were from the USPA, my dear friend Stephen Orthwine, who very much pushed the project and liked the idea very much, helped me, and to meet the right people at the right moment, right place. And so we decided to come up with a good concept, and it took a couple of months. In retrospect, not too long, and we signed a deal, and so we're producing this film now since beginning of this year, and it'll be completed by the end of this year, I believe.
Hi, Phillip, Claudia here. Phillip, could you please share with us what you feel that the message is that the United States Polo Association wants to deliver in the making of the Perfect Match?
Well, you see, Claudia, the USPA was founded in 1890. That's quite a while ago. They just celebrated their 125th anniversary. And since then, would you believe it, even though the camera was founded and created, no comprehensive film was made about polo in the United States. In fact, there are many people outside of the U.S. In fact, there's some inside the U.S. Who do not know that polo is played in 300 clubs and by 5,000 people. 5,000 people doesn't sound like an awful lot, but these are very, very passionate people who play polo across the nation. And exactly this we would like to capture, and we would like to show that there are big tournaments on the East Coast, on the Pacific Coast, in Wellington, Palm Beach, but also in many, many other smaller clubs, and it's a very complex sport. The girls segment in the sport is the fastest growing segment. 40% of the USPA members are girls and ladies, and so this will be explained and featured. We have intercollegiate sports, we have college polo, and et cetera, et cetera. So the sport is growing, and obviously the USPA wants it to grow even further. Therefore, we are producing this 60-minute film that will be premiered in Los Angeles in the spring 2018. So it's going to be accessible to a broad range, a broad viewership, not only in the United States, but outside, hopefully also in Argentina.
Right. So, Phillip, the perfect match, do you think, is this will be targeted specifically to polo players, the community, or is it for the broader, viewership?
It's definitely going to be, we're definitely targeting at a broader viewership, Claudia. Definitely. The polo players are polo players. As we know, whoever plays polo will only drop dead, then he will stop playing polo. So we don't have to convince polo players to start playing the game. But obviously we would like to make them happy too, because the film is supposed to be informative and educational and what have you, because we will obviously go a little bit into the history of polo in the United States, but furthermore and far more important it is to capture the interest of not polo players. Maybe there are other horsey people who have done dressage or show jumping or eventing or whatever, who would like to go for it and try polo. maybe there are some people who have never sat on a horse. As we know, this is possible. You can start at the age of 30 and never ridden a horse before. So the viewership is supposed to be a broad one, and we're going to be deeper. We are not going to be very technical in the film, so no worries. We're not going to go into the nitty-gritty of rules and regulations, but we're actually going to explain more the spirit and the passion behind the sport and the work with the ponies, obviously the most important partners on the pitch, and the grooms, very important, etc., etc. So we're going to cover many aspects that are very, very much unknown to the broader public, and we're going to correct the image of polo, because it's not only pretty woman polo, it's far more than that, as we know. It's hard work and blood, sweat and tears, as Winston would say. He played polo himself. And so we're going to cover this. It's a challenge because we have 60 minutes, but it's going to be a very dense film, 60-minute, full of action, passion, but also philosophy and quiet moments.
Phillip, congratulations for the idea first, and tell us, what is polo for you? What are your feelings about polo?
You know, I told Claudia already, I got hooked several years ago when I was invited to play polo in the south of France. I have to admit, I'm not a regular polo player, but whenever I manage, I grab a stick and play stick and balls. I'm in a way, I'm hooked as well. I'm sort of obsessed. I've had this idea for many years to make this film about polo as a filmmaker. I'm very fortunate to choose my subjects, my topics, and polo is one of the top-ranking topics on my list. So, I don't know. I was sort of, out of the blue, I was invited to play polo, and I think I did quite well. And then I thought, wow, as a filmmaker, you must put this on screen. Not necessarily myself, but polo in general, and polo in the United States for now, and hopefully we can extend and expand and make a film about polo in Argentina, polo in the world, make it as open it up as much as we can.
Yeah, actually, that was going to be my next question. Is that are you hoping that this will be the perfect match? Will be the beginning of great inspiration to other polo associations of the world, to be inspired and to have their very own polo history documentary. Don't you think that will be ideal? Great.
I very much hope so, Claudia. We are now obviously very fortunate to make the film about polo in the United States, which is obviously one of the bigger polo nations, and obviously with Argentina being the biggest, but United States being very, very important in the polo circuit. And we are in touch with the Hurlingham Polo Club, the association. We are speaking to many others. And yes, we are very, very interested to make this a perfect match amongst the polo community, that they see, we can actually have our own film, and we can work with it, because it's not only supposed to be a film that should be a nice thing to watch and put into the shelf or in a drawer, but it's actually supposed to be a tool, a PR tool for the polo world, in order to show how fascinating the sport is and how actually everyone can have a go at it, whether he or she continues playing. That's a different matter, obviously. We know the better you get, the more complex the sport gets, and also at times the more costly it gets. So this is obviously on a different page, but we want to invite as many people as possible to have a go at it, and therefore we are going to organize not only one premiere but several premieres in the United States, and we are going to enter the film into festivals, and so again, we want to approach as many people as possible and hopefully win over many, many other polo associations, whether it's in Asia or in Europe or obviously the Argentine Federation of Polo. Yes, that's our aim, definitely.
I hope to be like this. We are talking with Phillip Selkirk about the perfect match. So, Phillip, when we can see this movie ready, at the end of the movie, when will be?
Well, I guess, Federico, it's going to be, we're planning the premiere in the spring of 2018 in Los Angeles. This is going to be the kickoff, and then we will most likely have a premiere in Wellington and Palm Beach, and so I believe it's going to be something like March or April of next year, and then hopefully it's going to spread as much as possible. Okay,
Claudia, any question more for Phil?
No, well, I would like to thank Phillip. I think it's, I'm very excited. Also, just want to mention one last thing for everybody should actually watch. Phillip has a great documentary about La Bamba de Areco, our famous estancia located in San Antonio de Areco in the province of Buenos Aires. And I think for us, Argentines, and for everybody, I think they should watch this specific Phillip's documentary, which I personally, it's one of my favorite. Phillip has many, many documentaries that are just awesome, but this one was really, really, really great. I just want to thank Phillip. I mean, I think this perfect match is going to be a brand, and it's going to be the beginning of many, many, many other different, many more polo documentaries. So I want to thank you, Phillip. Thank you so much, and thank you to the U.S. Polo Association also for having found you to make this possible.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to thank the USPA at this juncture, and thank you very much, Polo Hub, Polo Line, Federico, Claudia. That's a great opportunity. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Phillip. Thank you very much, Claudia. We continue with the best music, as always, here in PoloRadio from Buenos Aires to the world.